Hi to everyone, this is Kusma. Welcome to Happy Learning. Now we are going to learn a topic cardiac cycle. Till now we discussed heart anatomy. Now we are going to learn this topic cardiac cycle. So what is cardiac cycle? Means one contraction and one relaxation of atria and ventricles is known as cardiac cycle. That means these two are atrias or auricles. These two are ventricles. These contraction and relaxation of these chambers is known as cardiac cycle. So this cardiac cycle includes one active phase. That one is systole. What is that? Systole. Active phase is systole and resting phase is diastole. So these atria and ventricles will be in those two phases, systole and diastole. Totally this cardiac cycle completed in 0.8 seconds. To start with, all of the four chambers of this heart are relaxed state, joint diastole. Blood from vena cava. This is inferior and this one is superior vena cava. Blood from vena cava and pulmonary veins. These two are pulmonary veins. Enters the right and left atria respectively. So, from this pulmonary vein, the blood enters into the left atrium, and from superior and inferior vena cava, blood enters into the right atrium. Now, these atria contract. So, these two atrias will be contract, forcing the blood to enter into the ventricles. That means the blood, when entered into these two atrias, the blood has to go down to the ventricles. So one force will be needed. For this force, the atrias will be contract. When those two are contract, the blood enters into the ventricles. That one is called atrial systole. When these two atrias are contract, that one is called atrial systole. The ventricles start contracting and atria start relaxing. Why? The blood already enters into the ventricles by the contraction of the atria. So now the time is for ventricles for contract and the atria will be start relaxing. On ventricle contraction, due to the pressure, the blood moves into the aorta. So, this one is left ventricle. The blood enters into the aorta. The blood, when it moves into the aorta, and from here it moves into the pulmonary artery. The aperture between these aorta and ventricles closed by the valves. These are the valves: pulmonary valve, aortic valve. When the valves are closely forcibly, we can listen to the first sharp sound of the heart lub, ventricular systole. So when this ventricular starts contracting, this one is ventricular systole. When these valves will be closed, the sound we can listen, that one is lub. During ventricular systole, the atria begin to relax during this period. When the ventricles start relaxing, the pressure in the ventricles is reduced. The blood which has entered into the arteries try to come back into the ventricles. The valves which are present in the blood vessels are closed to prevent the backward flow of blood into the ventricles. So these valves only helping for the blood not enter into the ventricles back. Now we can listen to the dull sound of the heart, dub. Okay. Here is lub sound and here is dub sound. The atria and ventricles are in relaxed state. That is ventricular systole. Again atria fill up with blood and are ready to pump them into the ventricles. So the sequential events in the heart which are cyclically repeated are called cardiac cycle. So this is active phase, systole, and resting phase, diastole of atria and ventricles. Cycle will be in the time, how much duration it will be? 0.8 seconds. So this is about the cardiac cycle. Thank you for watching.